I'm Paul Foxcroft, and this is Questing Time. Welcome to episode 9. We left our player characters quite literally on a cliffhanger last episode. Interesting side note, thanks to a massive technical glitch at the very last second that was completely out of our control, we could not connect with Rufus for the show, so this entire show happens without the Rough Knight being present. But don't worry, he'll get some solo play at the top of episode 10. Last session, we left our players on a literal cliffhanger after defeating some gnolls in an encampment and releasing the owlbear that they're desperately trying to find, and then immediately losing track of it. Phillin has foot-long body hair and is covered in grease, and of course are all hanging off of a cliff. Ruff is on top of the cliff holding up Claire and Phillin, and the Reverend Jack has tripped and fallen off the cliff into this episode. Hope you're enjoying the jump cuts. A lot of them are caused by the fact that there's builders upstairs, and have been for 6 months. Let's enjoy the show. What would each of you like to do? Now, I want to point out also before we go any further, at the end of last session, Matt, you are currently on 12 hit points. Claire is currently on 12, and the Reverend is currently hovering around 13. This is a 60-foot drop. This will hurt. What would each of you like to do?
Paul, in the last show, we met an eagle, a half griffin.
Yep.
Griffin.
That we taught to fly.
Kind of.
Is there any Gandalf way we can get that half griffin flying?
There are so many ways of summoning animals in this game. You have access to none of them.
I'm out of spells, guys, from my last adventures.
So I want you to have this conversation in character as you dangle across this cliff.
No.
Matt.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on, wait. Actually, Briony.
Yeah.
Because you're holding on to a halfling who has very exclusively been described as greasy, I would like you to make an athletics saving throw, an athletics check, to hold on to the greasy halfling, but you are making it...
Check.
How would that work?
Because
bear in mind, this hand attached to greasy halfling and very much safety, this hand attached to a cleric in full armour.
Because it's like, in Cirque du Soleil when they wrap themselves around a blanket that's from the ceiling. I'm going to do that with Phillin. It's more acrobatics if I use the big cloth whirly moment.
Okay. Yes, you can you can use acrobatics, but you're rolling at disadvantage because of the greased man.
Oh, no. Can I use my inspiration?
You absolutely can.
Otherwise it was a 2. Or 11 plus 6, 17.
17. Great. You have continued to hold on to the halfling. You may now continue to talk about what your plan is.
Okay, guys, I can't do Cirque du Soleil forever. I have no spells left, and I've used my only inspiration.
Okay, sounds like things are pretty dire.
I've got a plan, but I'd like to hear Mr. Hardcastle. Sorry, I had a bit of lag.
The wind picks up.
Quite all right, Phillin. Thank you very much for apologising. All I have is a bag of holding, and I think that will just perpetuate our problem. But if we all got in and then dropped the bag, would that make everything fine?
Oh, somebody watched the Comic Relief stream.
I think
But also, Richard, your hands are currently engaged.
Yeah, they are. Okay, yeah, okay.
Miss Claire, do you still have that infinite pot of water? Could we make a waterfall and sail down it?
Oh, can we? Do I have it?
You do have a decanter of endless water. You also have your right hand keeping you alive and your left hand keeping the Reverend alive.
Phillin, can you reach the decanter?
Phillin is using one hand to hold on to the Rough Knight and the other hand to hold on to you.
Wait, I've still got acrobatic skills. I'll try and get the decanter with my knees.
From where do you keep it?
That's a very good plan there. Very good. I'll hold us here.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Ruff can pull us up.
Matt, you may have inspiration for the purposes of this.
Okay.
In fact, hang on a second. Let me just make a roll on behalf of Ruff. Ooh. Cool. That will happen in a moment. Matt, did you have a plan?
My plan was the infinite waterfall.
That was the plan. Thanks for that. Thanks for that sub.
Can I bite it out of if I held it in my jacket? If the water's in my jacket.
My other plan is I do believe I have some very handy fire spells. We could all climb on my back, and when we get nearer the ground, I'll try and use it to land like a rocket.
Yeah, to be fair, you can't do any skills if his hands aren't free.
But if we let go and you guys get on my back, that's my plan.
Cool.
Paul, can I just ask something? As well, while Phillin is telling us this really ingenious plan, the Reverend looks around. Can I make like a perception check to see if I can see any like useful branches that we could swing toward?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I'll tell you, make a perception check, and I'll tell you the details of the area you are currently in, because you are, I won't lie.
That's a natural 20.
Great. Here is what you can see.
I can see real good.
You really can. One is the fact that you can. So the cliff is it's got a little overhang, but not a massive one. So you're hanging about 5. You've got about 5 foot between you and the cliff face. There's a couple of like branches and stuff hanging out or sticking out of the cliff face at around this height, but not a lot, and not a lot of them that look like they'd support your weight, let alone the weight of 3 or 4 people.
Okay.
There is, however, a little bit of a ledge around 40 foot, about 30 foot below you, but it's not directly beneath you. But you might be able to swing to it, and it would be less painful than the full fall. Below you, immediately below you, are a couple of things. There is a little stream. It's not hugely deep, so it's not like you couldn't dive into it, but there's a stream running out of a little cave in the cliff face, not immediately beneath you. It's like 30 or 40 foot around. The ground looks a bit boggy. It's like down here it's a bit swampier than it is up there, but it still looks... What you're looking at falling on is somewhat unforgiving rocks and the sharp, jagged remnants of a shattered cage.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So there's like a couple of options on the way down that might slow you down. Of all the people in this sort of daisy chain, Richard, you are the only one with a free hand.
Yes, and I'm at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can get to Claire.
Yes. Yeah, so what do you want me to do if I can reach Claire?
Can you get the water decanter off of
All
me?
right.
I consent.
I didn't. Thank you very much for making that clear. So we're going with the waterfall plan?
I think like if you scoosh the water upwards, like it's a jetting.
Oh, we can like jet ourselves up.
Yeah, as we
Brilliant.
go down, it'll jet us up.
And if nothing else, the boggy water will be boggier.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Do you want the good news? The good news or the bad news?
Go on.
Hang on, Matt. What was the hang on?
Who's got the jumping boots?
Ruff. He stole them from Richard.
Would he be able to? Let's say we can speak on his behalf. Would he be able to use them to at least catapult us back over? Do they have that power?
No, but also for the purposes of this, he is unavailable to you as a resource.
No, I'm right here, right now.
Is it? Oh,
Never mind.
Presuming he's drunk and just passed out, but his spikes are still keeping us out.
On.
Sure. Yeah. But I'm afraid, Richard, you reach up to get the decanter of endless water out of Claire's satchel or jacket or wherever it is she keeps it. Matt, this is as this happens, you are very well aware that your quite greasy hand is slipping through Ruff's fingers with disturbing speed.
Oh no!
Would you like to warn them?
I'd like to, but you know me. Guys, I think I can't let go! Fly, you fools! Fly!
At which point, the world
I cling on to them.
shifts. Genuinely, if you have anything you'd like to do before you hit the ground, now is the time.
I'd like
Make
to
that call.
everyone to trust me, and I'm going to use all my firepower when I get near the floor to do a rocket-style maneuver and try and propel us back a little bit.
I'm going to try and propel us with... I'm holding on to hardcore to Reverend Jack in the hope that he can do the water thing. Reverend Jack!
Then I'm on my own with the fire, guys. I'm going to do that thing that they do in wingsuits where you...
Cool. Richard, what would you like to do?
I'm grabbing the water again from the bag.
Okay.
And trying again.
And you would like to... What are you trying to do with this?
Grab it and then get the geyser on full at the ground.
Okay.
You know, like in cartoons, when the water is going downwards and the people go upwards?
Yeah, I'm familiar with physics.
Eureka.
Also, I throw my bedroll down, just in case it softens the blow.
Great news.
While this is going on, Paul, I've also used my parachute pants, and I've opened them slightly to help control my fall. Hopefully they won't fly off.
So, okay, let's deal with this in sequence. Richard, you are independent of everybody else, right? Or are you trying to grab anybody as you fall?
Sorry, am I trying to grab anyone?
Yeah.
I'm grabbing him.
I misheard what you said, Paul. Sorry.
Are you trying to grab anybody as you fall, or are you just independent for... independently?
No, I'll try and grab Phillin, I guess.
Hands.
If I'm being grabbed by Claire, I will grab Phillin.
Okay, so Briony, are you grabbing... Here's the thing. You can do one thing. Briony, you can put your bedroll down to try and arrest your impact on the floor, or you can grab the Reverend.
Can I grab the Reverend and Phillin? One hand each.
Yeah, well, actually, I'll let you do that because you don't really have to do that. You don't have to grab them so much as just not let go of them.
Yeah, because I think you need 2 hands on that decanter, Reverend. Focus on your job.
All right.
Paul,
yes?
are my magic trousers fireproof at all?
Let's find out.
Because I could use my fire to fill them like a hot air balloon.
What?
Yep. This is an option, guys. I'm going to stick with rocket landing. I'm sticking with rocket landing.
Okay, so, Richard.
Hot air balloon.
Given that you are... Hang on, let me just I need to double check. I don't know if you need to attune to the decanter of endless water to make it work. I hope you don't.
If I see it not working, though...
I mean, you don't have time to go, oh, that's not working. Here's an alternate plan. You're falling...
No, but I'd
just
I'd grab round his body to grab it if it's not working for him, because you can see water's not coming out.
Great news. Doesn't require attunement.
Okay. Meanwhile,
so here's what I'm going to say.
My fireball is powering up ready to propel me backwards at the exact moment. I'm very light.
My ruling on this is, I was going to say, you can roll it as if you were using it as an attack and knock that damage off of your fall. It doesn't do a lot of damage. So, okay, 4. You knocked 4 off. Right. So, Briony, you're grabbing Richard and Phillin.
Yeah. Keeping hold of,
Bear in mind, I am charging up fire right now.
And Matt, you're shooting a firebolt at the ground.
I'm charging it up, and just before we get to the ground, I'm going to aim it at the ground to propel us up for a little bit and a soft landing.
That's 10. That's... Christ. Has everyone got backup characters in mind?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay, great news. So, Richard, you have knocked 4 off of this.
Okay.
That has... You may have saved some of the party from at least falling unconscious. So, you guys fall, landing in the wreckage of the cage and on these somewhat unpleasant rocks. I'm knocking 4 off of this.
I tried to wingsuit towards the bog, Paul.
You did. Would you make an acrobatics check at disadvantage because you are being now effectively restrained by Claire?
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh, +3 then. Oh, +3. That's still 16 at disadvantage.
16. Okay. You grease out of Claire's grasp and manage to fall away from the cliff. I'll knock 2 dice of damage off of yours, Matt. So we'll do yours first. Matt.
Yep.
Please take 11 damage.
That means I'm still awake.
Great. Briony.
Yes.
Are you slamming? Oh my god, this is a terrible roll. Oh, that's not. Okay, fine. So you take 12.
I'm unconscious.
And Richard. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, actually, hang on, Briony. No, knock 4 off of yours because Richard has slowed you down. So you take.
How do I do that? Because I've just.
You take 8. So put that heal for 4. Richard.
Yeah.
I've got less good news for you.
That's all right. I still like you as a person.
Woo! We're knocking 4 off of this though, so don't be too afraid. But you take 25 damage.
Okay.
So it's only 21. As what happens is, as you fall, you push Claire to one side as you're jetting the water away, very much keeping her safe, and you land impaled on one of the rods of the cage.
Oh no!
That's your second impalement in
And the worst thing is, the previous impalement, this is like 3 foot, this is like 3 inches to the left. So it's almost the same hole, but not, which kind of makes it worse.
Jack
He's like a corn
Hardball,
on the
more like.
cob.
Can I just address the chat who are calling him a hero?
Yeah.
Remember, he stepped off this cliff.
Rolled a 1 and just walked right off it.
Let the people remember me as I was a hero.
Is he conscious? Are you
He is
conscious?
very not, I don't think he is.
No. My total hit points is 24, and I only had 13 left, so I'm well sleepy.
Phillin, I'm really worried. I've got no spells left, no healing power, and you and me are we're the only conscious ones with 1 hit point.
We've got 1 potion left, though.
Richard,
Happy?
please roll a d20 because you're now making death saves as you bleed out as these two pick themselves up and have a chat about the scenario.
I look around, I run to Claire and go, Claire, are you alright there? Did you see my landing? My plan was perfect.
Yeah, we're looking pretty bad. Phillin, we gotta help
1.
hardcore.
Rich?
Okay.
I'm
12.
I'm
Cool,
wrapping.
that's 1 good one. Roll again.
I'm ripping off some of his pantaloons and wrapping it round the wound.
Whose pantaloons?
Phillin's and some of
Phillin's
my-
pantaloons do not rip.
Okay, I ripped some of my pantaloons. What am I wearing?
Claire, do you think we should get him off the cage before I give him this potion, or give him the potion on the cage and then let him decide if we rip him off?
I think we take him off the cage.
I'll give him the potion.
Okay.
Glug, 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 glug.
Okay, so hang on for a second. Richard, what was your second death save?
15.
Great, I need you to make a third one now,
Oh.
just as they start approaching you.
That, my friend, is a natural 20.
Great! Oh shit, in which case, Richard, great news, natural 20, you stabilise and come back to consciousness with 1 hit point and a 4-foot-long piece of steel sticking out of your chest. As you look around and see that Claire is tearing off her trousers. And Phillin is approaching you with a potion that, if memory serves, he has absolutely no idea what it is.
No, you told us 2 were healing potions, and I used 1 on his last impalement.
I'm with you, fair enough.
Reverend Chat, I don't want you to worry, but you might have been impaled for the 2nd time today. We're just going to take you off the cage, because that shouldn't be through your body. It should be outside of your body.
Pause for 1 second, because there's a couple of other complicating factors in the mix. Richard, I should make clear to you, this is immensely painful.
Okay.
And
Rufus.
Matt and Briony.
Yeah.
Briony, so what order are you doing this in? Because you've got the potion to give him, you've got lifting him off of a 4-foot thing, which is going to be hard for Matt because Matt's character is 2.5 foot tall.
Yeah, I'm going to have to lift him off. So I'm going to lift him up. Because you don't want to heal him while it's still in there, otherwise it'll heal around it.
Even though I know it's impossible for me to do this, I try to give you bardic inspiration from what I've learned from you.
So you just start shouting, "You can do it!" like a Rob Schneider cameo in an Adam Sandler film.
Exactly.
It does help, Phillin. It does help. And then
You're lifting so good, Miss Claire. So good.
Reverend Jack, don't worry. We're gonna de-kebab you. Just keep
Briony,
breathing.
I need you to make a strength check and not get a natural one.
Oh, I've also got plus nothing on strength.
Great.
17.
Great! Brian, you actually carefully and in a manner that causes him extreme pain, lift the Reverend off of what is effectively a pike set in the ground.
The whole time I just say sorry.
You lie him down on the hard rocks underneath him.
And I wrap my trousers around him.
You wrap your trousers around him.
You don't need to do that.
Around the wound.
Yep. It is unclear as to whether we're going to get Rufus in here, but he can't hear anything. I'm going to suggest that as this happens, just a smattering of boozy vomit hits the ground near everybody.
Well, actually, if it's Ruff's vomit, there's probably enough alcohol in it to sterilise the wound.
Kind of. You rub vomit into the wound.
Don't worry, it'll help.
I'm still giving bardic inspiration at this point.
Great. Rich, I'm just looking at your character sheet. You've got loads. You've got a few level 1 spells left.
You could heal yourself.
I could totally cure wounds myself.
You could. So, who's casting any spells? Who's putting what potions into what people's mouths? And who is, I suspect, just digging a hole because the thought has occurred to them.
I'm wrapping trousers.
I'd like to cure wounds on myself, and as I do so, I say, "Don't worry, I'll take it from here."
Lovely stuff. Richard, would you please roll cross a level 1 spell off? Or have you got any level 2s left?
I think I used at least one on the fight.
You did. You cast Spiritual Weapon, but I think you could cast this at 2nd level, or you could hold on to your 2nd levels for later on. It's up to you.
You're on 1 hit point, mate.
Heal up. I'll heal up now. I'll cure wounds at 2nd level.
Cool.
So
it's 2d8 plus 3.
That's 13.
13. Great. You now have 14 hit
13.
points. But you had 1 already, so 14 in total. The Reverend casts this spell on himself. The radiant light of tear flowing through his body, healing the wound most of the way, and letting him feel restored. You are, however, now all at the bottom of a cliff. It is quite dark. As we established, it was getting on for nighttime. It's lit only by moonlight. You can hear around you the sort of soft background noise of swamp crickets and frogs and that sort of thing. The buzzing of insects and the animated trickling of quite a fast-flowing stream pouring out of a cave mouth nearby. There is also a distant honking.
No, I forgot about the goose. Well, first of all, I'm going to take the potion if that's okay.
Sure.
Actually,
How much will that give me back, Paul?
It is 4d4.
Okay.
4D,
where am I D4?
Actually, it occurs to me, before you down that potion, you guys could feasibly take a rest, as D20 Future Show has suggested.
oh yes, please.
You are in the wild.
Okay, what do we have as
Is there any sort of vaguely safe-looking shelter around, like a tree?
That cave?
The cave mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go in
Which
the
are we-
cave mouth. It's got fresh water, bit of shelter. You can light a fire with your firebolt.
Yeah.
Let's not light a fire to draw attention to ourselves,
Oh,
guys.
okay, no, we won't.
We're
light a
not
fire.
doing that to draw attention to ourselves, Mr. Hardcastle. We're doing it so we can have a little snack.
And because I didn't throw my bedroll over the cliff, we can now just, snuggle up, have a little kip.
Yeah.
And, by the time we wake up, probably the rough night will have come and rescued us.
We should write him a note in the floor.
Yeah.
Using what?
A
Blood.
stick.
I've got a lot of blood
There
on
is
me.
so much blood around the cage.
Okay.
I'll write him a little message. Remember, I couldn't spell my own name the other day, so I say, Reef, gone in mouth for little snooze.
I just want to put 10 points to Tet879 in the chat there. Because, do you remember why you're here?
Yes,
Why?
to
pick up an
save the
owlbear.
day and get the babes.
Specifically,
Bill and Ted.
the baby owlbear that we were
The
talking
baby
owlbear.
owlbear.
That you released from a cage and then ran away from. So,
Yeah.
No, we didn't run away from him initially. Mr. Hardcastle, if I remember, made him scream at a very nasty monster.
so to answer the question in the chat, Hootie Friend is somewhere back at the campsite where this began last session, wandering around. However, enough about that. So are you guys trying to write a message on the rocks in blood?
I've done it.
Okay, and that message reads?
Dear Mr. Ruff, gone for snoozy time in mouth. Kiss, kiss, kiss. P.S. Kiss.
So rest up, and then we'll go get the owlbear and take it back to
Yeah.
the village.
Okay,
And also
that's
we
quite a
could really
long.
work on
That's quite a
making our
long.
messages useful.
That's quite a long message, and has the confusing phrase "gone for a resty time in mouth," but that's fine. Love it. It takes a while to daub that in blood on the rocks in the dark, but regardless, you manage it. That takes about half an hour, realistically, to do it in letters that you think are big enough for him to see.
Excellent!
Thank you for those subs. Gamma 2 Delta's gifting subs like crazy. I'm doing this gesture. Pew, pew, pew. Because I'm making it rain bullets.
also-
Pew, 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 pew.
I know from the chat I'm not wearing trousers. If you're
Yeah.
healed up, Reverend Jack, can I have my trousers back?
I offer Claire my trousers.
No,
Oh.
it's all you're wearing. Please, Phillin, keep them on. Please.
Starts to pull them back up slowly after half pulling them down.
You could do that quicker, Phillin. You know you can.
I take the trousers off, give them to Claire, and then I help Phillin lift his trousers back into place.
Nice. So, are you guys heading over to the cave mouth, or do you want to have an explore of the swamp?
I
Just
think
have
we
a
need
little
to
look at this
rest,
one.
don't we?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
cave seems safe place to rest.
Although, if it took half an hour to write a message, could I have rested while that was happening?
No, because a short rest is an hour, and Phillin
Okay, fine.
has been, I imagine, screaming the whole time.
It's how he writes.
He claims it's a song.
Let's
So do
let's
we
do
sleep overnight?
let's do a short rest in the cave mouth then.
Okay, great. So you guys head into the mouth of this cave, and what you have basically the whole floor of the cave is quite it's uneven rock, and it's quite a fast running stream. So the cave mouth is very much a sort of gradual incline upwards. Who of you has dark vision?
Me.
So it's only Claire who can see it here, unless have you got a torch or any other means of? Does any of you have the spell light or dancing lights?
Just got my fire hands.
I've got a candle.
That'll
I've
do.
got light as a spell.
Cool. So Richard, you could cast light on something. What would you like to light up so you can see?
My hand
My own
puppets.
eye patch. Oh,
Your own eye patch.
yeah, because then it's would it then be like a torch out my eye?
It glows like Sure. Okay. Fine. You cast light on your own eye patch, so your eye patch begins to issue radiant light in a small area, and this allows the two of you to see the interior of the cave relatively clearly, albeit for a short, for a fairly short range of I think it's about 60 foot or something like that. So you can see this incline continues upwards. It's not easy footing. It's like it would be difficult terrain if you were rushing through this in a combat scenario, but you kind of make your way further into the cave, and after about 30 foot of gradual incline, it opens out, and on your right hand side is a flat-ish plateau that it doesn't have running water on it. It's just slightly higher than the level of running water, and there's more of like a tunnel which has this stream in it ahead of you. But there's a little area. It's about 15 foot square that would suit for you guys bedding down for the night. Richard, as you're the one with what is effectively a torch, can you make a perception check for me, please?
Yep. Oh, it's not good, Paul.
Great.
5.
5? Cool. Very little is happening then, Rich. This seems like a good enough place to bed down. Unless Claire or Phillin, would you like to have a nose around?
Yeah,
Just perception checks.
But I rolled a 2.
Ooh,
Great.
I rolled an 18.
Cool. Claire, there's quite a lot of animal bones in the stream.
Right. A lot of animals died here. By the looks of it,
That-
there's lots of animal bones. In this
That must mean it's very safe, because they came for a snooze and just kept snoozing.
It could also maybe mean that someone's eaten a lot of animals.
That does make sense.
So you think someone maybe lives here
Yeah. Well.
or
Yeah.
something?
I think.
Can we do some sort of nature? Can we inspect the bones and do a sort of nature check on the bones now
You
that
sure
I've been
can.
told that they're there?
Yes.
CSI
that is-
Hardcastle coming up.
That's a 13, Paul.
13. Yeah. Some of the bones, quite a lot of the bones are broken. They could have cracked. Cracked is the right term. And most of the bones have a series of worn down indentations, so like straight lines, like a tally, if you will, straight lines in a similar direction, that give the impression that they've been gnawed on by something, maybe.
Should we take
Okay.
it in turns to stay awake?
Or
Yes.
if you're having a short rest, you're not sleeping for an hour. You just kind of like take an hour to patch yourselves up, chill,
Let's do that. but
restore
Yeah.
some of your spells and abilities.
We'll
So
sit,
if you
sit in a triangle back to back so we can see all places.
nice.
Stay alert.
Which means, so each of you get to. The light spell lasts for an hour, so that will be a nice timer. Each of you gets to hit on the character sheet you're using up at the top. Hit short
Yep.
rest. If you would like to use any of your remaining hit dice,
Yes.
Yes.
then you can.
1d6 plus.
So tick out how many of your hit dice you would like to do.
Can I use recover? I still have it.
What is it? No.
It says reset maximum HP
No.
during.
No, you
Come
cannot.
on. Damn it! It's worth a try. Okay. Oh, sorry. D6.
Didn't score
D6.
very well
D6.
on my.
Where the hell am I done?
It's now just refreshing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to use 2 of my slots,
Okay.
and I rolled. It's +1. I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
And then a 5. So what's that? 6, 7, 8.
8 hit points restored. Richard.
I would like to do the same. Two things, but I just rolled 2 ones.
Oh no.
Lovely. So you get, I think, 4 hit points back.
Great.
You do.
How many are you on now after healing wounds?
17
Oh.
of 24, so we're okay.
I'm on
it's all right.
9.
Yep. Briony.
Classic villain.
I did use 2 hit die. I got 2 and a 4, but +1 for each. So that's 3 and a 5, 6, 7, 8. I can do
Great.
maths.
Yes, you can. Lovely stuff. So, yeah, I like that everyone's got the same Constitution modifier. That's weird. So yeah, after an hour of chilling out in this cave, you patch yourselves up a little bit. And can all of you make perception checks, please?
Quick perception, Paul. Should I have
Yes.
got any spell slots back from a short
Not
rest?
for a short rest.
That's a
You can
16.
take a. I will absolutely let you take a long rest if you want to spend 8 hours in this cave. But that
No
would involve
thanks.
you.
Not
That would
when
involve
I've-
you guys sleeping.
Rolled a 1 for perception.
Lovely stuff.
I assume I just
16.
stare at a wall.
On the contrary, Richard, what did you get?
16.
Cool, Briony.
Perception, 14.
Okay, Briony and Richard, from further into the cave, there is Domitilla. There is a donation link. It'll turn up in the chat periodically. I don't know what it is. I'm 100. Oh yeah. So if you type donate, that maybe does something. Does it? Does that make it happen? No. Oh piss. I should set that up really, but I'm bad at what I do. If any of the mods are around, maybe do that. Thank you,
haven't been
Rob.
around since-
Oh, hail King Rob.
Oh, hell, King
King
Rob.
Rob.
So, Richard and Briony, from deeper into the cave, you hear a very distorted and echoey, but unmistakable hoot. Matt, you do
Yes.
not hear that. In fact, as those two move towards the, I'm going to say I can't remember what orientation the cave is in, the north end of the cave, so deeper into the cave, Matt, what you clock is in the sort of arch of the cave mouth where you came in, you can see sort of stuck in the rock is what appears to be, to all intents and purposes, a what looks like a little dagger. It glints with sort of golden, a little bit of golden light in the half light of the cave, which has a magical vibe to it.
Ooh. I'm definitely going towards that then. That's caught my
Okay.
attention. Gonna do some arcana on it.
Sure.
Should I do that now?
Yeah.
Oh, not terrible. +2. 16.
16 looks like I really don't know if it's magic. You'd need to get your from, because it's a couple of feet above you. You'd need to get your hands on it to do a proper check.
Can I reach it if I...
You can clamber up. It's not difficult to get to. It's just stuck
I'll
into
do
the.
that, then.
It's just jammed
I'll do
into
that.
it's jammed into the rock. So you could try and work it loose.
scrabble up and try and work it loose? I don't even
Okay.
tell those guys I'm doing it either. I'm all...
No. I assume the two of you're listening for more hoots.
Are we aware of what Phillin is doing?
In no way.
Okay.
He's wandered off behind you. You can't really hear him over the sound of rushing water.
Right.
Reverend Jack, do you still have the bag of meat? Remember that the owlbears like meat? I've still got the bee, the toy it likes.
Great. Yeah, no, I've still got the bag of meat from the butchers.
So
So
we
we
should.
could maybe lay a trap.
Well, I'll just shake it to kind of coax it out.
Yeah, that's my version of traps.
Oh, this is why your dating life has got so weird.
Yeah.
Now's not the
it's
time.
each to their own.
Yeah.
No, let's get on with this. Can I throw some meat from the bag of meat?
Into the dark cave ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I shake
you-
the little bee. And
Lovely.
go bzz, 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 bzz.
Rich, you reach your hand into this dank bag of meat, and you throw it into the stream, and about 10 seconds later, watch it sort of slap its way down the stream past you. Meanwhile, Matt, would you make a strength check, please?
Sure. And...
Richard, you now have a slightly cleaner piece of meat.
Right. So I just washed some meat.
Yes.
It's
Well,
nine.
now that it's
9?
kosher.
Great. Cool. So what happens, Matt, is you lose your grip with your feet, and are now, because you've got still weirdly long body hair, that's slippery. You're now hanging from this thing about 6 foot over the stream bed,
Worm on a hook.
just trying to shake it loose. Briony, Richards, what would you like to try?
You got clean meat now.
Hoot, hoot, hoot.
Hoot, hooty hoot. Yeah, hooty hooty.
Can I put some meat on a on an arrow on my crossbow and fire
Yes.
it into the cave?
Fire
You
it.
can.
Is that
Yeah.
insane?
I'd hold it out.
It's weird.
Because you might
But you
use
can.
it.
You can. The beauty of D&D is, yes, you can.
Okay.
It's another classic Hardcastle kebab.
I'm doing that. I can't see from the torchlight coming out of my iPad.
What you can see is from because the light only extends so far. You can see there's another incline upwards, and the cave sort of dog legs around to your right.
Okay. Well, then, in which case, I'd like to fire a crossbow with some meat on it directly into the wall ahead of me.
Done. I'm not even going to make you roll for that.
We're
With
in
a
cave.
thud, a piece of meat is now stuck to a wall of a cave. Matt, can you make another strength check, please?
Ooh. Oh, I have to -1 though. 17.
17. Great. Good news. You, by jumping, basically pulling yourself up and down on this thing, you managed to work it loose. And there's good news and bad news.
Yeah.
The bad news is it's not a dagger. It's a. Thanks for that donation. It's a. It's not a dagger. It's a python or a piton. It's a piece of rock climbing equipment that's been hammered into the rock centuries ago, and it's quite rusty. That's the bad news. And the other bad news, I lied about the good news, is there's a sharp cracking sound from the rock you've pulled it loose from. Matt, would you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Of course. Hey, I'll just check my modifiers. Okay. Yep. Yep. And with +3, that is 5.
Oh, fucking hell. So, guys, you two hear a splash behind you, turn round to see Phillin stand up in the stream going, I found a stick! As he holds up a bent piece of metal, and then the cave collapses on him.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay.
why wasn't anyone watching Phillin?
And that's part 1 all wrapped up, with the players in a cave as it collapses. Which is kind of on point if you've watched them play at all. It's very them. Join us soon to watch part 2. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Pop over to Twitch, say hi there, or follow us at Questing Time on the internet. Or, in fact, look down underneath the thing, because I think I've fixed the merchandise link, and you might be able to buy stuff. Please buy stuff. Anyway, we'll see you for part 2 of episode 9 any day now. Have a great day. We'll see you then. Bye.